Claudia slowly opened the back door. As she did, a man rose to his feet from the shadows. It was Leo. He was wearing a filthy jacket and a hat that he must have picked up somewhere. How haven't they, like, rousted this place? He must be trying to disguise himself. Leo, come in quick. That was Rose. She's fine, of course. Of course. Is that really a fucking of course? Leo, thank goodness you're safe. When Leo walked into the room, Rose ran to him, tears dripping down her face. Kiss time! Even though he was soaking wet, she buried her face in his chest and cried. Come here. Leo's just go upstairs for now. I'll go get you a towel. Let's just go upstairs for now. I'm so glad. I thought you died, Leo. All because of me. Sorry I'm late. I had to make sure I wouldn't be followed. You're hungry, aren't you? I'll make you some food. It's alright. Stop by a food stand on the way. Well, you seem as relaxed as ever. I had to kill time until midnight. Also, I was able to get some information. I wonder if everyone else is safe. The only disturbance in the city was the one at Rose's apartment. There aren't any other car chases or gunfire, or anything like that. Which means everyone managed to escape safely. None of the others are the type to surrender peacefully. The fact that there are no disturbances probably proves that they weren't caught. Thank goodness. Thank goodness that no one else died because of me. Rose crouched down on the ground and started to sob. What happened today was probably too much of a shock for her and her grief-stricken condition. This is the first time I've invited a man into this room. Is there an ashtray? This is a non-smoking store. My apologies. What should we do now? We can stay here as long as you like. You'll be able to eat potato cooking every day. It'll be very healthy. If I find out I'm hiding here, you'd... Rose, you're our madam. It's our duty to help you when you're in trouble. Oh no. I've got to go check on the pot. Claudia pattered off down the stairs. Rose, who was holding on to her knees, buried her face again inside. I can't rely on Claudia forever. At any rate, we'd better regroup with Richard. These are the times a man like him could come in handy. You're right, if Richard hadn't been there. And Richard couldn't have managed anything without you there. You were in the right, Rose. That's why he'll follow you. That's what he said. Just what part of me was right? I brought misery to so many people. I might have mixed up doing the right thing and ignoring the facts. Alright, no smoking here. Do you have any idea where Richard might have gone? I don't know. In that case, keeping quiet here for a bit is the best strategy. It's close to your apartment too. Richard will probably figure out that you're hiding here. He'll probably make contact with us soon, once things have cooled down. Which means the enemy might realize that we're hiding here too. I bring misfortune wherever I go. I can't stay here. I can't bring misfortune to Claudia, my dear friend too. If you wander outside, they'll catch you. What will all those people who still believe in you do? No matter how much Caleb says he's working for your just cause, he's way his way of doing things is wrong. You're the one in the right, Rose. How can a man who makes examples of people save his countrymen? Many miserable things have happened, but those are all Caleb's doings. They aren't things you did. It isn't just Richard. The same goes for Stella, and Meryl, and Cyrus, and me too. We believe that your way is right, and we'll stick with you even now. And of course I believe in you too. If I didn't, why on earth would I try to hide someone wanted by the Mafia? Claudia. I'm fully aware of the dangers. However, I can't forgive anyone who surrenders to evil and abandons someone who is in the right. You're the one who gave me that heart. It was you, Rose. We will never abandon you. So for a while, let's take it easy here. Eat potatoes 3 meals a day. Okay? Okay, sorry to keep you waiting. Try a bit of our special potato zao gourmet leftover style. Yeah, fucking great. I love food that I can't even pronounce. Tastes great. Come here, Rose. It was late at night. A single car drove through the gentle rain towards the alley where Sterile and Merrill were lurking. Fortunately, it came to a stop near a gap those two were hiding in. One of our pursuers? Quiet. Stella carefully looked around, gripping her gun. The man who came out of the car looked like an affluent gentleman. It certainly didn't seem to be one of the pursuers. It looked like he was finally coming home after a long day, ready to take a shower and get some sleep. Looks like we got us a sitting duck to cook. You're so violent. Call it a godsend or something. He looks kind of kindly, like a kindly old man. Let's go ask him for a favor. That kind of favor. And you mean a trick or key? Stella and Merrill had no method of starting the car without a key. They wouldn't be able to use the car unless they got the driver to give them the key. They don't know. Yeah, of course they can't hotbox it. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, what a tiring day. Yeah. I'm so sorry we startled you, mister. This girl here is hurt. But if you don't mind, we'll borrow this car for a bit. Please don't shoot me. What? Merrill, why are you pointing a gun at him? Huh? We weren't going to take it by force? I was going to have him lend it to us peacefully. Why would you even need to pull a gun? A gun out, stupid lolly hijacker. Who are you calling a stupid lolly? Ow, you just kicked me, didn't you? You kicked me where it's swelling, didn't you? Someone save me! Hold on, mister. At that moment, a bright light shone on them, blinding their field of vision. It was the car's headlights. Those headlights made the silhouettes of several men appear. Fuck! Their hands were inside their coats, pointing forward. It was pretty clear that they were pointing handguns at the girls from inside their pockets. Well, I guess we're pretty lucky on the whole. True. Looks like we aren't wanted dead or alive. If they had had no intention of catching the girls alive, they would have probably pulled their triggers without asking. At this point, being held up was a blessing. The two women were forced to acknowledge their bad luck. The men motioned for Stella and Merrill to go into two cars and push them inside. They didn't know where they were going. They melted into darkness. The taillights of the cars went out. Fuck. I really fucking hope that was the Americans. Since the early morning, it had been an overcast, sullen day, raining on and off. Despite this, a pulsating crowd of more than 1,000 men had gathered in the park close to the harbor. What are all these people doing here so early in the morning? Didn't you hear? That Caleb guy is giving out food to us poor people. Rumor has it it's not just food that he's giving out. He's going to be handing out money. Money! Father Caleb is a savior to us poor folk. Well, I won't let him trick me. Do you realize how many stores have gone under thanks to him? If someone's handing out money and food, I don't care if he's from hell or the mafia. What do you think you're doing? Don't cut in front, I'll kill you. Come on, how long until it starts? We're starving here. We're giving up waiting for trucks at the employment agency, just so we could come here. A crowd of men in cheap clothing formed a massive line waiting for food to be rationed out. Eventually, the rationing began, and this line slowly moved forward. What they got in their bowls was jumbled up and indistinguishable, that it was literally dog food. Still, just the fact that it was warm food for free gave it a favorable reception. The men who got their bowls formed a crowd to the side of the distribution tent. What's up, men? Here's your chance to get rich quick. Find those who oppose Father Caleb and grab yourself a reward. Rose Ibarra, the former madam of Club Primavera. Whoever catches her gets a $100,000 reward. There's also a cash reward for information on where she's hiding. 100,000? 100,000 just for catching that girl? Richard, for the Mayugi offices, another $100,000 bounty up for him. Insane, if you got both of them, that'd be 200,000. Chatter. Several men started shoveling down their food, their eyes glittering. Caleb and some others watched this from a large luxury car parked on the other edge of the park. Thank God he got to buy a luxury car. How could we have missed this? So this is how we might solve our troubles. Putting bounties on people. It's almost like we're bad guys in a story. Ha ha ha! Wait, we're the bad guys? Those people aren't all Japanese. There are also a few poor Chinese laborers. So those people will be found even if they try to escape to Chinatown. And it's also possible that some people who don't accept Amanda as madam will drag Rose out of the shadows for us. Please don't underestimate me. Primavera is absolutely under my control. I won't let anyone disobey me. Still, such a shame that the safe was empty. It seems I underestimated this, Richard. It'll be my job to fill that safe up again. Just you wait and see. I look forward to it. Squeeze the rich people for good for the sake of our fellow countrymen. I still hate this fucking cunt. Caleb, if it's money you want, I'd like you to help out a bit with my business. First off, stop letting those tough guys from your family into the club. Their attitudes are bad and they make passes at the girls. For them, it's all on the house and we don't get a dime. You've got to give them a break there. After all, good drink is a man's oasis. Exactly. I've ordered them not to let it get out of hand. However, Primavera's my club. What's wrong with my underlings having a drink at my club? Right, Miguel? Yes, that's right. You know what's going on, Caleb. Miguel, more importantly, you gotta round up the girls who have left Primavera and are getting customers on the street corners. Yeah, fuck them. Stupid girls doing whatever they want. Teach them no one can practice their trade in City 23 unless they accept Amanda as their madam. Of course, just the other day I found a cheeky girl and ripped her up a bit. At least don't touch their faces. Those are a commodity. I didn't know you only saw faces in prostitutes. Little did I know. Apparently that is. You just pay to see their face. Whatever. Great fucking meme, guys. If you can't bring them back alive, we don't care if you kill them. But if you do catch them alive, you'll get a bonus. If you don't think you can manage it yourself, just report it to us. You'll still get money out of the deal. Rose. No way. After leaving Primavera, Wayne had gone back to his rat lifestyle with an alley as his nest. The sense of helplessness he had felt at being unable to protect someone he had sworn to protect forever, even at the cost of his life, still tormented him. He knew that Rose and the others were facing unprecedented danger at this very moment. Yep. However, what could a powerless person like him protect? And how was he supposed to face them? There was no answer. Nothing would grow except his own anger and contempt at his powerlessness. Chinatown southern end. The northern part of City 23 was given the name Small Rock District after the war, but these days you couldn't see that name anywhere except street signs. The people of the city called this area Chinatown. City 22, which lay to the north, was under the control of the Chinese army, and all of it had already become a Chinatown. A bump of that pushed down to the south, making the northern part of City 23 a Chinatown too. This small rock Chinatown appeared to be under the control of no family. However, everyone knew Lee was the de facto boss, and an important member of the Golden Dragon Society, the largest family in City 22. So to avoid stirring up trouble with the Golden Dragon Society, the families of City 23 avoided Chinatown as a general rule. However, there was no clear dividing line between what was inside and outside of Chinatown. In the brackish area where Japanese and Chinese people were split, there would sometimes be turf conflicts between Chinese mafia and the Japanese mafia. Underlings from the Caleb family were standing around here and there on the streets that passed through Chinatown. You got that. Keep your eyes wide open. Those Primavera people had contacts in Chinatown. This is the only way they can get in. This one road. Hey, stop your truck right there. Open the back. Stop it. I'm not a suspicious person. Violence is bad. Just open it up. You aren't hiding anyone inside, are you? Stop trying to pretend you don't understand Japanese. Open up the truck. Hey, no violence. China and Japan good friends. Every time a truck passed that looked like it could hide a person, they would violently stop it and force the driver to open it up. Most of the people driving cars into Chinatown were Chinese, but they didn't let that stop them. Nothing but pork. You sure took up our time, old man. You can go now. Hey. Before they realized it, they were surrounded by Chinese people wearing sunglasses. Yeah, you guys fucked up. You probably shouldn't really be rousting Chinese people. Of course, they weren't good. Ordinary citizens. It's a Golden Dragon Society. Are you with Caleb? That's right, we're from the Caleb family. This place is not Caleb City. It ain't the Golden Dragon Society's turf either. Since when was this your turf? Well, your actions are troubling many Chinese people. Sorry about that. We're looking for someone. If you get in our way, you won't get off easy. Some are saying they were dragged from their vehicles and beaten. That's because they tried to ignore us and make a run for it. Both our boss and Caleb do not want to fight. We want to go home for the day. We want you to go home for the day. You're bothering everyone. Wow. Ah! What do you think you're laughing at? Get out of here, Chinese trash! Hey, you looking for a fight, China? Fine, let's have a go. The instant one of them made a grab for a Chinese person collared, all the Chinese people pulled out their guns. The moment later, the Japanese people pulled their guns out too, and each side were pointing their barrels at the other's noses. The townspeople realized what was going on, and they screamed, ran away, and ducked to the ground. We don't desire a fight with Caleb. Well, we're not too particular on that point. City 23 belongs to us. Get back to your City 22. Tell your boss don't think you can keep sticking your necks into City 23. You'll die. They're gonna start a fucking war. Goddamn turf war. And be like, oh, whoops. What happens when you hide? Oh, great. Hey, girl, get over here. Give us a drink. Stop that. You're hurting me. You're no fun, girl. Isn't it your job to pour drinks for our customers? Customer is someone who pays for what they get. You people don't pay anything, do you? On the contrary, your lawlessness has driven all the real customers away. You're parasites to this club. If you really want to call yourselves bodyguards, protect this club. Start by doing something about yourselves. Of course, her emotions hadn't exploded all out of the blue. All she had done was bravely speak for what all the girls thought and the arrogance these men had shown until now. What's that? You better watch your mouth. This club belongs to the Caleb family. We aren't customers, we're owners. Let's teach you what happens if you talk like that to the owners. Customers will see if you do it here, right? Employee training had better be done somewhere that it doesn't disturb the customers. True. Let's give her a good long session in the VIP. Get over here, woman. Time for some special training from your owners. Someone help me. The woman who had been hit with and whose nose was bleeding disappeared into the depths of the club, dragged by the men by her hair. The other women were unable to do more than bite their lower lip in fear for what might happen to them tomorrow. Yeah, this is great, guys. This is really fucking smart. Anyone would want to quit working in a place like this. However, there was nowhere else to work. On top of that, the streets were now even more dangerous than Primavera these days. Ever since Amanda became the new madam, the atmosphere in the club had undergone a complete change. It wasn't just in Club Primavera, it was all of the clubs associated with Primavera. Gale family thugs calling themselves bodyguards would mix in with the customers and act like complete and utter arrogance. No customer would willingly come to a club like that. The regular customers who had supported the club vanished one after another. By now the club was only ever filled with punks and the women who lived their lives in fear. Claudia, it's been so long. How is it? How are things going in the club? Just look, it's terrible. We can't go on like this. Jealous of you, Claudia. Primavera's finished. Even my store has had to pay a lot of protection money to the family. It isn't easy. Thanks to them, our customers have stopped coming. Of course they have. Most of our regulars have gotten entangled with the family and had all their money taken away. Even if they haven't, who would want to come to such a terrible club? I don't want to work in a place like this anymore. And even if we leave the club after all this time, we can't make a living. I beg you, Claudia, give me a job. I can at least skin potatoes. Please, Claudia. Claudia would love to employ them if she could. However, her store is also barely getting by, thanks to the protection money demanded by the family. Won't Amanda do anything about it? She doesn't even show herself around here. Rumor has it she's been splitting the sales of this club with Caleb. Anyway, it's just terrible. There's no one left to protect us. If we do quit working here, they say that a hitman named Miguel will come in for us. I heard all about that. Do you remember Hannah? That kid who was really good at the piano. I remember her. How is she doing? Right after she quit, she was slashed up with a knife in some back alley. Now everyone's too scared to even quit our jobs. However, that doesn't mean it's safe inside the clubs. In one of the other clubs, there was a girl who was hit by one of them and had her jaw broken. I heard it was some stupid girl who provoked them. Even so, that's just too gruesome. Hey, Claudia, how's Madame Rose doing? How are Stella and Rose doing? I don't know. I'm sorry, I only came to get something I lent to Rose. Hey, Claudia, if you do see Rose, please tell her. Tell her that she's the only madam for us. This isn't just for us, that's what all the girls who are part of Primavera feel. Claudia's reason for coming here had been to see how things were going at Primavera. And when she saw what was actually happening in the club, she knew for certain that what the others were saying were true. The high-class charmer club Primavera was completely gone. Scruffy-looking people got drunk and laughed crudely. The occupying forces, American soldiers who should have stopped this, were nowhere to be seen. Even the regulars who loved this club had faded away, leaving the club in a terrible state. Yeah, fuck that, I wouldn't go there. Ironically, even a club in this state was far safer than being outside. The women had suffered a huge deduction in their wages. The women. They wanted to quit working in a place like this, but if they did, they wouldn't be able to eat. It was as filled with despair as an inescapable blind alley. Yeah, it's almost like these people hate women. Some of the people reading this tale must have had a certain thought when Rose refused to serve Caleb that day. That calm and composed Richard was right. The emotional Rose was wrong. Wrong! That's bullshit. And I knew this shit would happen. Like, it was really fucking obvious. They have zero respect for anyone else that wasn't in the front lines or whatever. Oh, the big bad front lines. Oh! Who fucking cares? Who fucking who? Like, it was painfully obvious that he wouldn't give a fuck about people down here. Especially women. Holy fuck. Women doing good while men are suffering? Can't have that happening. Oh, they didn't fight in the front lines. You wouldn't let them fight in the front lines. Still! True enough, at least when it came to being calm and composed, Richard was in the right. At first, Richard's plan to pretend to be obedient while working to improve our situation bit by bit may have seemed like the best option. However, I would like the readers to consider this point. The most important founding principle of Primavera. Primavera was formed to offer ladies of the evening a safe working environment. To deny that was to deny Primavera's very reason for existence. Richard's choice was the best solution from a man's perspective, from an accounting standpoint, but it completely ignored the women who worked in this world of the night. Look at me. I had their best interest in mind. Look at me. I'm such a great guy. True enough, whether they chose to surrender or refuse, this day would eventually come to pass. However, there would be one huge difference. That difference was neither the ladies of the evening would lose hope in Primavera or not. Whether the ladies of the evening would lose hope in Primavera or not. Because if Rose had sold them out, done. They wouldn't have zero respect for her. If Madame Rose had chosen to surrender, all of the women would have lost hope in Primavera and the alliance would crumble in an instant. And if it crumbled, would they search for customers on the streets? On the dangerous streets where Miguel and his gang wandered, hunting ladies of the evening? The club was in a terrible state, but it was still 100 times safer than the streets. It was far less than before, but in this era of extremely scarce employment, there was still a place for a woman to earn better pay in a better workplace. In other words, Rose's choice was more correct than Richard's. The regrettable thing was Primavera's powerlessness and inability to execute that better choice. Yep. Claudia couldn't help but let her mind race. She thought about the manner in which Rose had been forced to make such a painful choice. Like, had we been able to mobilize sooner with our alliances? Maybe. we could have like really crushed Caleb's throat before he could get like a foothold. If we really pressured the American forces to do something about it and say this is a legitimate threat, he's really threatening our business, blah, 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 we could have probably gotten it finished sooner. But putting it off was the bad idea. Death on the battlefield is what a soldier desires. After all, we're trying to kill people. How could we complain if we're killed? Obviously, getting killed by a gun would fulfill our desires, but so would being killed by a shovel in a beach battle. Because we'll both get to die as warriors at equal range. However, that is the one thing I don't want to die by. I don't want to be killed by a trench mortar. A mortar is a very rough sort of weapon. You point it towards the enemy without aiming at anything in particular, and then fire like mad with a thump, thump. After all, your target is a couple of kilometers away. You can attack safely out of range of the enemy camp. Well, I mean, it's still technically at a particular point. You attack at the base, or wherever. And on top of that, it's incredibly easy to fire off. You just pop a shell down a tube and thump. You get to hit the enemy camp with a rain of several dozen bombs in a few minutes. Thump, thump. To the person shooting, it's almost funny. But the person getting shot at, it's boom. Even though getting hit with an explosive projectile will turn you into a pile of flesh, the person shooting at you isn't even looking at your way. Even when criminals are executed by shooting, their executioners look at them through their gun sights, right? Who could possibly be able to rest in peace if you were killed in this rain of random explosions? What's worse is you get your legs blown off and then you slowly die. Oh, this dude must love, like, landmines. That's the real fucking random shit. It hurts. It hurts. I ran out of medical supplies long ago. There's nothing I can do. There's no way I'll be saved, so please kill me. Damn it. Damn it! I don't hate our enemies. We've both been ordered by our countries to kill everyone. Kill each other. That wasn't what was tearing me up. In this thick, distant jungle, where they took us, telling us that it was for the sake of our country. Just who from our country is going to care for those mourning people who failed to die after having their legs and arms blown off? Did they realize what sort of cruel banners were waiting for us when we came home? Calling us baby killers, mass murderers of civilians, war criminals. You literally were war criminals. Hang in there, man. You'll lose hope because of something like this. Don't you want to make it back to Japan? When you get back, you'll have everything we want. We'll have everything. Food, sake, our choice of beautiful women. I want to drink enough sake to take a shower in. I want manju to eat steamed potatoes until my stomach bursts. Damn it. I don't want to die even though I've never been with a woman. Perfect. I'll make all of that come true. Food, drink, women. When we make it to Japan alive, I'll let you eat, drink, and enough to shower in. We'll have our revenge against those who sent us here, while they sat around in comfort. I'll take back everything that was stolen from us. So men, don't go dying on me. Don't let the loss of one or two limbs stop you. The wounded soldiers broke down sobbing at Kiriji's words, stretched out their arms. The crowd of wounded soldiers stretched out their blood-stained arms and clung to Kiriji. Kiriji held all of those arms, lifting a tearful roar to the rainy heavens. No excuse still. I don't care. Don't care. Hang in there. You're moaning in your sleep. Did you have a nightmare? Honest to God, it doesn't matter. I don't fucking care if he saw his entire family butchered in front of him. It does not excuse what he is doing. Don't care. It's not an excuse. It's just, war fucking sucks, bro. It doesn't mean you can take it out on other people that didn't do anything wrong. Fuck off. It's not a nightmare. It was a dream of an oath. One that I can't forget until my war's over. I'll bring you some water. Caleb let out a huge sigh, then looked at the clock next to the bed. It was still too early for dawn. Another dream about the battlefront? I'm grateful for them. They never cease to appear in my dreams, reminding me of my mission. I understand that they're only ghosts. Nothing I do now can ease their pain. Poor thing. Poor thing, me. That's right, you poor thing. Amanda gently held Caleb's head as he sat on the bed. Amanda, don't fucking give in to this dude. Stop it. Even though the war is supposedly over, the war inside you still hasn't ended. How can you be saved? I'll have to end my war. What I'm doing now is for that war. This time it's a war with money packed into our shells instead of gunpowder. I need money. I need money. I have to save him as soon as possible, no matter how much I have to dirty my hands. You're not saving people. You're just effectively hurting more people than you would even save. Caleb. That's what's fucking infuriating about this dude. Oh my god, more shit.